Heartland Waterfowl presents Behind the Blind Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Blind, brought to you by Double T British Kennels. For more than 20 years, Double T British Kennels have imported dogs directly from Great Britain to build superior bloodlines. Their top-of-the-line dogs are proven in the field in major field trials. Learn more at britlabs.com. Tell them that we, Heartland Waterfowl, sent you. I'm Ronnie Phillips with Logan Burditt and Eric Champlin. We are at Camp, easy for me to say, Champ Camp over Thanksgiving, as we traditionally do. And man, good news, bad news. Good news is the migration is on. Bad news is it could have gotten here about a week earlier in order for this trip to be maybe a little bit more successful. Not that it was a terrible trip. We got to pick on a few birds, but with the birds that are here now, it could have been a whole lot better.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of the story of the week, right? When Champlin and I started scouting on Tuesday, we always know that this week is kind of like a risky week, but there's typically enough birds around for us to, scrape stuff together, right? And it was like, all right, they're going to show up today. Big snowstorms going through the Dakotas, temperatures dropping. Finally, it got super cold today, and I think we saw the biggest part of the migration come in last night, and this morning we were watching it pretty good. But for me, I really thought it was going to happen on Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and we were going to be, in the money for the entire week, and that just wasn't the case. They just didn't really show up at all. We saw some migration happening throughout the week, but nothing that really changed anything like we thought. And then here we are today, and there's a lot of birds on the move here this morning.
Champ, thank you again for having us out. I don't know what year this is. How many years have we been doing this on Thanksgiving? Because we didn't do it at year one.
Before.
You guys did, but we, as a show, doing it on the show, I feel like maybe this has been going on 8 years, 7 years, something like that, of the 13 that we've been doing it. Does that sound right?
Well,
maybe 10. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a few more. We missed, a year to go to Cold Bay.
But we still came. You just weren't there.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. I would say 10.
Yeah.
I've been doing it longer. I don't know how long I've been doing it, but it's been a minute.
And this is like Champ Camp 3.0.
Yeah. Allison really likes to move every couple of years.
About every 5.
She moves every couple of years and rearranges the furniture, every 6 months?
If that.
Yeah. So this has been awesome, man. Congratulations on the new digs. We got to stay out here in the big, spacious, heated shop when the thermostat is set right. And
you just got to figure out how to move it.
Little inside joke there. Champ walked out and said, I set the thermostat at 50. That's what it was at last night. Anyway, who sets the thermostat at 50? But no, this has been great. We've really enjoyed it here. And you guys have been, you and Logan, that is, were trying to scout a couple days before all of us got out here. And when we say that, like, the migration wasn't here, like sometimes people say, oh, the birds just aren't here yet, but there's still a few birds around. Like, there was no birds around other than maybe 500 snows.
Yeah, there's just patchy spots of Canada's.
But patchy, you're talking like 6 on this pond, 10 on this pond.
Here.
Yeah.
And then if they would even get up in the evening to go feed, they didn't go far, and nothing got together to really have anything worthwhile to go find or to go try to hunt in a field. And the first hunt, Ronnie actually talked all of us into going snow goose hunting. That never happens.
This is true. Kinda.
And we had no wind, which is a big thing, and not many birds to work with. And we shoot 15, which
probably
isn't bad for.
I think we probably ought to offer a little context on how if those who are hardcore Heartland Waterfowl fans know that snow geese isn't my favorite, they're probably wondering why I had to be the one to talk you guys into hunting snow geese. And the reason is,
well, we just didn't really have any other
options. Right.
There was.
It's like, do we hunt on Thanksgiving or do we go scout?
Yeah, it was miserable option 1 and 2, and then go snow goose hunting.
Yeah.
So we decided to go snow goose hunting, which in hindsight, we probably did better snow goose hunting than we would have hunting Canada's anywhere else.
No doubt.
And then if we did have a little bit of wind, like that 15 probably could have turned into 30 or 40 pretty quickly.
Yeah. I was 40 was my target.
Would have been pretty incredible given, there was very, very few. I mean, we're talking 500 to maybe 1,000 birds around.
That's what was before that morning hunt, but birds were migrating in that night and even that morning as we were setting up. So, and I'm not trying to make it sound like it went from 500 birds to 30,000, but there was twice as many as there was the night before.
There were a few, but it's usually when those snow geese show up, they show up in big numbers,
right? And
it just didn't happen.
Right.
But I feel like that happened today.
I was going to say it happened last night and today.
Yeah.
Like Ronnie's saying that, if we don't go do that, that's one more day of scouting. That's one less day of hunting, in which we didn't hunt yesterday because it rained.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's the thing too. There could have only hunted 2 days this week. I mean, there was literally no way to hunt yesterday with the rain. It rained all morning long, all night long, all morning long. We probably got an inch of rain, maybe more.
Probably more.
And it would have been impossible to hunt Saturday morning. There's just no way you could even done it. Even if you had the best field in the world, you wouldn't have want to been out there hunting. And then obviously the birds sat all day. So we weren't hunting yesterday afternoon, which turned into, our hunt this morning, going out and scouting last night and, the hunt this morning. And then this morning, obviously just to get right into this morning, there was birds around last night, but it's 15 degrees this morning and sunshine, and those birds just didn't want to move hardly at all this morning. We saw some birds, we shot some ducks. It was a fun little hunt for what it was, but it should have been way better, but the birds just didn't fly. And obviously there's really nothing you can do about that.
So we shoot roughly 15 snows day 1, day 2. We shoot 4 or 5 geese. Does that sound right? 6. Was it 6?
Yeah.
But the cool thing about only shooting 6 big honkers was 3 of them were banded. Which is a really cool story about that, because in the same field, Champ and Mike and your buddy Tim and a few others got to hunt that same field in a different section of the field like 2 weeks ago, and you shot 8 bands out of there.
Yep. First group that came in, we knocked 8 birds down, all 8 banded, and now Deke thinks every bird that dies he shot because he thinks there's a 100% chance that it's banded.
Well, one of the weird things too is, and we were talking about this, is these birds that were banded were a lot darker than the other birds.
Yeah, make sure you send me that picture, because I'll try to overlay it here in the video so people can see it.
But yeah, he showed me when he was talking about it, showed me the picture. He's like, look at how much darker the banded birds are. And then he was walking back to the truck in the middle of the hunt because he forgot something. And he texted me and he said, 2 birds coming over top. He goes, they're the dark ones. I bet they're banded. I didn't get the text message until like 30 minutes afterwards. And I looked down. I was like, Champlin called that those 2 birds were banded. We had a pair come in and both of them were banded, and they were the darker birds. And literally they flew right over the truck, and Champlin was like, I bet those 2 are banded. And they were, which is weird. I don't know what causes that or what it is, or
hey, if you think you know why these birds that are so dark that were the ones that are banded, make sure you comment in the comments here on the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel. But yeah, no, that was, I think we even put a little survey out on their Heartland Waterfowl Instagram. Would you rather shoot a full 6-man limit of honkers or scratch out a few and shoot, is that what it was?
Yeah.
You scratch out a few and shoot 3 bands?
Yep.
So okay, ducked up question of the day. Hand him the microphone. Go ahead. Let's just do the ducked up question of the day right now.
Okay, so the ducked up question is, would you rather shoot something unique like bands or shoot a limit? So whenever you shot his tarsal, sometimes whenever somebody has a swan tag, you shoot a swan, whatever, something super unique that happens, or shoot a limit.
So for me, it's not it's always still cool when it happens, but it's not like it's uncommon for us to shoot banded geese. Like, there are parts of the country we go to hunt geese, and it's uncommon for them to shoot banded geese, like Wyoming, for example. Yeah. They don't shoot many banded geese. Now, in our part of the flyway, it's not uncommon. It's not like it happens every hunt that you go on.
Over like Minnesota, like Fergus Falls area, a lot of bands that come through there from Manitoba. There's a lot of different areas. Wisconsin, with the Jack Miners, and up in that area, there's a lot of different areas that are more prevalent for banded geese. And like you said, Wyoming obviously less. So like we do see quite a few bands. But for me, on like yesterday, And I don't know if I can just say, all right, yeah, I always want to shoot a limit, or no, I don't want to shoot something unique, you know, one or another. But yesterday, like, I had so high hopes of having a good hunt that those bands were kind of just like meh to me because the birds weren't decoying, right? I was like, man, like, this is frustrating. These birds should be working better. Obviously, they weren't liking our setup all that well yesterday or 2 days ago. But the bands were cool. But at that point in time, that hunt, I was like, I'd rather have the limit because I know that we should be burning them down now in this field.
That was a tough hunt. It's such a big field. That's one of the things that we should probably add for those who will later in about 10 to 14 days watch this episode on the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel. And why was it that many birds were not finishing? It is a ginormous field. I don't even maybe Champ, how big that field is, how many acres it is, but I mean, it's massive
for the area. It's
right.
Yeah. I mean, it hunts really, really, really big.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's a rye, like it's a tilled cornfield that's sown back in with rye. So it's not like you can lay out in it. You can't get in the middle of it.
Right.
It's completely flat, pretty bare. So you're either hunting an edge or you're hunting a center pivot. And the center pivot's just a tough thing because there's not even weeds or anything growing around it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that we tried. That was our best option. And made do, and it obviously didn't work. Now we shot 3 bands, right?
Sure.
But it should have been way better than it was.
I would say that the only thing that would trump shooting a limit for me, it would be, and I don't even know if they do this anymore, but like a neck band, or like, I know they do tarsal bands, but like, I remember
like
the only time I've ever been a part of a
goose, like a neck collar goose.
Yes.
What about like a radio transmitter duck?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's just so unique. That is so unique. But like, there was a quill.
I do like a quill.
A quill is cool, but again, like, it's not uncommon for us maybe a couple times a season to see a quill goose in our flyway with where we're at. So I guess it's different for everybody with where you hunt. But I will say that one of the most memorable hunts I have ever had was when we were in North Dakota and you shot that tarsal banded goose.
Yeah.
And
we also shot a limit that day too.
We shot a limit. There's no doubt we did. But but I don't remember all the different volleys and how great that hunt was. My memory is stuck on the tarsal. I was so excited for you. I offered to pay for you to mount it.
You did offer that.
And you didn't.
Nope.
Because you wanted to show it off on your lanyard.
Oh, whatever.
But anyway, that's what it would. What about Champ? What about you? Would you rather shoot a limit or shoot bands?
Was it limit bands or something weird? Or different?
Yeah. Well, would you rather shoot? The original question was, would you rather shoot a limit, like a 6-man limit of honkers, or scratch out a few and shoot a banded bird, or in this case, 3 bands?
Until this year, it'd been so long since I've shot a Canada band.
Really?
Yeah. I think the last Canada bands that I was a part of was maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
That long ago?
Wow.
Tim and I and Randy.
He just sticks to the snow goose bands.
Well, listen, let's put it into perspective. You don't Canada goose hunt very much. You're always chasing snow geese.
I shoot my fair amount of Canadas.
A few. But what percentage of your time is dedicated to snow geese?
Probably a good 75%.
I think that's probably a fair number. The Ducked Up question of the day brought to you by Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee sucks, it ain't the duck. It's the preferred coffee of choice in the blind or around the breakfast table. For Heartland Waterfowl and waterfowl hunters in every flyway, save on a variety of blends by using promo code HW10 at dirtyduckcoffee.com. And before we move on to what's going to be happening next for Heartland Waterfowl, let me also remind you that the holidays are coming up. Heartland Waterfowl just released its brand new online store at heartlandwaterfowl.com. A lot of cool items that are on there, including this brand new hat. This is the Don't Tread on Me hat. It's the pissed off goose replacing the rattlesnake. So go check that out. That could be a great Christmas gift for the waterfowl hunter that you're friends with, or maybe a family member that you have that loves to waterfowl hunt. So go check that out at heartlandwaterfowl.com. I guess we should do the old timer minute, but I don't have an old timer story off the top of my mind, and apparently Champ doesn't have any old time. Do you have anything that you can come up with, Logan? Anything that comes to mind about? You got something, DT?
Thanksgiving. My dad was here.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that. Go with that.
He likes to sit in a tree stand entirely way too much, so he doesn't get out waterfowl hunting much with us. So it's always good to have him come out.
The cool thing about having him here, other than the fact that he cooks so much for us. So
that's all he likes to do is hang out and cook.
Shout out Brad Burditt, who does all of our accounting and does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for Heartland Waterfowl. We're very grateful to you. Thank you for coming to cook. But it was also fun a couple nights ago sitting around the table and listening to him tell stories about how they goose hunted when they were kids.
Oh yeah.
You know, like standing, like actually hunting from a tree to pass shoot geese back in the day in Missouri.
Yeah. They had a lease up at Swan Lake, and back then Swan Lake was known as like the goose capital of the world. And now it's all ducks, right? There's hardly any Canada geese around there, but they would actually have cannons that would go off like every hour just to stir the geese up for the hunters. And it was mainly like a pass shooting game, and people literally put 5-gallon drums up in trees, and they would pass shoot them out of the trees. My great uncle actually had like a dozen of those. They're silhouettes, right? But they were handmade from himself. They're all actives, like high lookers, and they would put those out just to try to get them lower, right? To pass shoot them. It's not like they're trying to decoy them, right? They're just trying to get them lower, right. To come take a look, sure. At least. So yeah, it was pretty. That's what he used to do back then, and my great grandfather actually could hunt with live birds way back when.
I remember you saying that, and I was kind of freaked out.
Yeah,
by that.
They had special terminology for it. I don't remember what it was, but it was like the finishing duck or whatever, and they throw it up in the air when the ducks were circling. And it was legal back then. Incredible. I mean, that was a long time ago, but
I think that's kind of how the conversation came up, is just how much waterfowl hunting has evolved from just a couple generations to where it is today. So there's the Old Timer Minute, brought to you by Old Timer Knives, built for generations. Check them out online at The Old Timer. I guess before we talk about what we're doing next, we should probably give a little more information on what actually happened in our last day, because I know we kind of hinted at it a little bit, but in our last hunt this morning, because we weren't able to hunt on day 3, we ended up going back to the field where we shot the 3 bands on day 2. And what we thought maybe would be a goose shoot turned into more of a duck shoot. Although we thought we might get a few ducks, but I don't know that we thought that we would shoot as little geese and as many ducks as we did.
Yeah. Another bizarre morning. Yeah. The geese just didn't fly. The ducks were all the ducks were doing was just coming off the roost and staging in that river behind us. And I saw that happening last night. And it was one of those things, let's throw some mojos out and see if we can pull some. And that's what we were doing. They're just swinging wide, seeing the mojos. And we had 3 or 4 good bunches that actually finished right.
Really good. Yeah.
Not even just came over, took a look. They actually wanted in. And that really saved the day for us, because the geese they just didn't fly.
Yeah.
Just sat tight this morning. And, all we sat there really and did was watch the snow geese move.
Exactly. So you'll be able to see all of those hunts. I say all of those hunts, all 3 of those hunts coming up in about 10 to 14 days. What is today's date? The 29th. So call it, I don't know, like around the 10th, the 11th, somewhere in there. This episode from Kansas will be dropping on the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel, so make sure you hit subscribe, hit that notifications bell. New content's going to be coming out throughout the season. Also, a quick shout out to our friends at Beretta. They just launched within the weekend the brand new AX800 Suprema, an incredible shotgun. There's a podcast with Caleb McMillan, the director of hunting at Beretta, about that particular gun. You can check that out at the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel as well, or any of our other podcast platforms where we have the Behind the Blind podcast. So coming up next is Oklahoma, S-Bar Outfitters. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go this year, but Logan and Alex and a few others are going to be heading down there here within the week. And the cool thing about that particular trip is where the dates land with the Oklahoma split.
Yep. So we're headed back down there on Friday, and the season actually closes today down there. They have a week split, so it'll open back up. So we'll be able to hunt the first 4 days after the split. Good migration this week. There's more snow in the forecast up north. Birds should be on the move. I think they're doing okay down there already, so it should be pretty perfect.
Yeah, those birds will get there. They'll get comfy and vulnerable, and should be 4 great days of hunting for you guys.
Should be really good. Hopefully we get the wind and the conditions we want, because I think the birds will be there.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up then. Before we do, Eric, thanks again for hosting us. Really appreciate everything that you did and allowing us to come here and basically take over your premises over the Thanksgiving holiday. Thanks again to Allison as well, Eric's wife, who helped out and did some nice things for us as well. And then Deke, thanks for claiming all the birds that you shot, because you always shoot them all, buddy. Anyway, all that said, we appreciate you guys watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications bell on the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. So for Logan Burditt, Eric Champlin, I'm Ronnie Phillips. That's another episode of the Behind the Blind podcast, brought to you by Double T British Kennels.